Welcome back to another episode of the Worry Ward Gamer. I watched the Ubisoft Forward event and I felt like instead of moving forward, I was moving to the side and back into the mobile gaming space. I'm not sure if all of a sudden everyone who loves high-end console quality games, teraflops, ray tracing, graphical techniques, 4K, 8K, 70-inch screens, I'm not sure when all of those people decided that they'd rather play on a phone or a tablet, but it seems like Disney and Marvel and now Ubisoft believe that everyone is a mobile gamer. They seem to have a mobile game for every franchise that they've ever created, and if they don't, they're creating new franchises based around phones. Now, it started off right. As soon as I saw a Nintendo IP, I knew I was in for something quality. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. It's a turn-based strategy adventure game developed and published by Ubisoft for the Nintendo Switch, and it's a crossover between Nintendo's Mario and Ubisoft's Rabbids franchises, and is a sequel to the 2017 Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This game, Sparks of Hope, is set to be released on October 20th, 2022. Now, you may be wondering what is different about this game than the last game. The level design is less linear, and the turn-based tactical combat features a new system that disregards the first game's grid-based layout. The new combat has been compared to that of such games as Divinity: Original Sin. Also, enemy encounters outside of turn-based combat are a thing in this game. Mario can now be replaced by a different character, and there's more of a feel of real-time elements to the mix in the game. The game is also set to receive 3 downloadable content expansions, including one featuring Rayman as a playable character. I'm a big fan of the way Nintendo uses art style and animation, just the creativity in general to push technology forward. It's not just about the power in the box, it's about what the developer is actually doing, what the creators and the artists are actually able to achieve, and they never let me down. The use of color in this game, just the overall polish that I saw when they were demoing this game. Pay attention to each individual animation from every character. There is so much love poured into this game. You know that Nintendo kept a close watch over Ubisoft. If they are going to use these beloved characters, they're going to have to do it right. And Ubisoft, once again with this franchise, has, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park. The new gameplay elements, just the overall level of polish that I saw from this game at the start of the show really got me excited. I cannot wait to play this game at the end of 2022. So there isn't much I want to cover when it comes to the mobile Assassin's Creed games that were announced. There's quite a few of them. If you're interested in those, there are tons of videos and information out there, and I'm sure you can find those. I'm not a mobile gamer, and they just don't excite me in the way that I think Ubisoft and Disney and Marvel seem to think that they're supposed to excite me and all of us. So what's new in Assassin's Creed Mirage? Well, it takes the series back to basics, set in Baghdad, and we already know who Basim is, introduced in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Basim is part of the first Assassin's Brotherhood, and Mirage will take us along on his early adventures. The impending Mirage started off as a spin-off to the Viking-themed title before escalating into its own fully-fledged entry into the series. Rather than the open-world RPG gameplay of more recent years, Mirage is going to strip all of that away and get back to basics. There appears to be a focus on stealth and a smaller experience overall, and fans who want the return of the good old days of Assassin's Creed should be happy. Baghdad will be the only city in the game, and it will be split into 4 zones, each zone containing a boss for you to fight. It's unclear how that unfolds in the progression. It will return to its roots, and the parkour system will be greatly enhanced, and it looks to be one of the most narratively driven Assassin's Creed games since the original. Something that was very, very interesting was finally the feudal Japan setting for Assassin's Creed. It looks to be in the works. The working title is Assassin's Creed Red, and it says it's still a work in progress as Ubisoft didn't reveal much beyond these light details. Red is our next premium flagship title and the future of our open-world RPG Assassin's Creed game. So, where Mirage is more of an action-adventure, narrative-driven, deeply focused single-player adventure, it looks like Red is going to lean heavily on those RPG elements that showed up in games like Valhalla. Not only did the heavy focus on mobile games bother me personally, but when I heard this, quote, "We're investigating how we will bring back standalone experiences while all connected to the Infinity Hub." And what is the Infinity Hub? Well, they announced Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is essentially a hub world for all Assassin's Creed experiences. Sounds like Assassin's Creed games as a service. And when they say things like we're investigating how we can bring back standalone experiences into the Infinity Hub, what they're saying is once they get to that Infinity Hub, it's going to be difficult to create good single-player standalone experiences. So while we're getting Mirage, which leans heavily on narrative, action, adventure, and stealth, and we're getting Red, which leans heavily on open world and RPG elements, after that, we're tying everything together to an Infinity Hub, which may not allow for the previous two games to be recreated. So I was really excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage. I'm really interested in Assassin's Creed Red, and if those open world RPG elements can be reintroduced once they essentially take them out with Assassin's Creed Mirage. And I think that game is going to be well received by fans because of the hyper focus in on stealth, action, adventure, and narrative. And I'm not really excited about this slow march towards the cliff of live service everything games with Assassin's Creed Infinity. I'm not sure why they would do that, all the while knowing and saying that they have to investigate how to reintroduce those standalone experiences once they create a world where those standalone experiences really don't have a place because of live service. I hope that doesn't happen. Not interested in the mobile games at all. Let me know what you think about this show. Do you think it was better than the Disney Marvel show, or do you think both of them were just too heavily focused in on mobile games and live service? Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.